years of painting portraits. She's had a lot of success. She just wants to come back and be able to offer some of this back to this community that was so gracious to her when she was a young lady coming along. So to operate a business down there, which it would be a tax base, things that they produce and that they sell, there would be a tax base for the city. Back when we were on the council with Mayor Golden, there was an attempt made to renovate that building. We were not successful in doing it. Then it was passed on to the next administration with Mayor Glenn. Still had no success in doing it. This is an opportunity for the city for a lot less money to get the building restored, to keep from having to tear the building down. It is an old historic building. I heard Councilman Hamilton refer to it today, earlier. He made reference to it. So it's an opportunity for us. Let's say in 7 years, she does walk away from that. You do have a usable building that could be used for other things in a historic part of Wetumpka. Sits right next to the old dog trot houses and other things that are in the park. So it's kind of a fit that goes into what we're going to be doing tomorrow night, of talking about the redevelopment of downtown and the riverfront properties and all this. So it's an opportunity for us to get this building renovated.
Mayor, it is the oldest building in Wetumpka.
Oldest building
It's
in
the oldest
Wetumpka.
building in Wetumpka, yes, sir.
So that's where we are.
We can't afford to lose it.
Historical Society, certainly, I don't think we have any objections to seeing the building.
Absolutely not. We'd love to see it. It's a tragedy to lose it.
Very much.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next item that would be a new business, a resolution for construction agreement for Wetumpka Riverwalk extension.
This is the infield project on the Red Walk
Yeah.
and
Okay, this project is something that's been worked on for a number of years. To the point, it is in the MPO project TIP program to be funded. Engineering has been done, is being done. We ran into a situation with an old subdivision that was platted in 1951, 2, 6, okay, and sold off some lots in there. It's never been developed. When we started talking about this, and years ago, they figured that we could go in there and just take part of the street that was platted back then and use that street to maneuver our way through, and it would work. So then we started researching to see, we believe that we're in a position that we can do that we can use that property. We've gone and we've looked it up legally, we've checked everything, we're seeing who's the developer. Nobody is paying taxes on it that we can discover correctly. I think that's correct. But to make sure that we are where we need to be and we can accept this $527,000, $567,000 to complete this project, we want to make sure, with an Attorney General's opinion, that we can use this the way we're talking about this. It said, and Regina, Ms. Evans can speak to this, it says in the deed on those properties that if the city of Wetumpka did not put those streets in, then it would be the responsibility of the developer to put those streets in. Well, the developer is not stepping up, because that's there. Most of them are dead and it's been passed down and down and down. So that a developer is not stepping up and saying, "Okay, that's my project. I'll put those streets in." So we think that we're okay in doing this, but we'd just like to be secure with the ruling, right?
I think the city needs to have a
they're protecting whatever person they take in development that's using that undeveloped street. Because it was never, and this part of the law is a little ambiguous anyway, but when there's a plat that's recorded, normally you consider it a dedication of all the streets to the public. But in this case, the city never went forward and actually developed the street, so there's a question, you know, exactly what are the rights of the city to that street, undeveloped street area, and what can they do with it? And it would be better for the city to have an AG's opinion to make sure that we do what we're legally required to do. So,
And I think this is the only obstacle, because the power company has been working to give them their easements across their property. There's one major bridge that will be built, Councilman Washington, the branch that comes back up through the brook. What's that called? The brook branch? Okay. But anyhow, it's a pretty major bridge, but this gives you the opportunity, when this is done, you're actually standing there at those rapids looking down. Now, it is beautiful back in there. So that's where we need to go with that. Any questions?
The only question I would have is on that Attorney General opinion. Done a little research on them, Janice. I think you're paying taxes on one of those lots back there. But what if some of these property owners all of a sudden come out of the woodwork and go, hey, we want the street paved, not a river wall. We want. I mean, I don't see it happening, but who's to say that somebody that's been paying taxes on those properties for all these years would? By us doing this project, are we stepping up to have to pay the entire subdivision? That's is where I'm going.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But that's one of the reasons we want AG's opinion. If you noticed in there, I asked him specifically, would we have to vacate those right-of-ways in order to use it for this purpose? And if so, whose consent would we have to have? Because normally if you do a vacation, you have the adjacent landowners who have to consent. But in this case, the city's never developed those streets, so they're strictly undeveloped. So that's why we need a determination as to whose rights are affected by this and how the city needs to proceed. So there is no problem with the adjacent landowners or anyone else in regards to putting that walkway through.
Even if they did come and develop it and submit the plat, they would have to redo the streets anyway, because if we've got an opinion that says that we can use it as a river wall, they would have to redo their streets. All right, if you plat a subdivision, you've got the roads, and the city generally accepts that subdivision and says, we're gonna take care of the roads. If they come in and want a subdivision, they're gonna have to redo the roads, because we now have that road.
No, we would actually be, we would almost be considered a sidewalk coming through there.
It's Beaver Street, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. We would almost be like a sidewalk in there that they could still put their streets in.
Exactly.
If we hugged one side of this street and stayed in it and went all the way back into the sports complex.
They can't come in though and say, you gotta tear that up because we're fixing to build a road, if we get that opinion.
It would actually give someone like Ms. Horton, who owns a piece of property back there that has never seen it. They could walk down that river walk and get her a golf cart and go back there to see her piece of property. So,
You can have a bonfire back there.
But that.
But I understand the avenue, the rabbit you're chasing, in that if somebody did hypothetically want to come in there and say, put a circular drive, and that circular drive went across both sides of that river walk, we would have an issue.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna catch it. Because if you,
Following the street.
we're following the street. So regardless of what they put, if they own the lot over here that went to the river, and we're out here, pretty much where what the sidewalk would be, and they wanted to come in here and put a circular drive across the property, it still would affect the sidewalk. I mean, they'd be driving across it because it's not gonna be what do you call it, aggregate? What do you call it?
Not gonna be what?
It's not gonna be the concrete.
Oh.
It's gonna be some other type material, that, yeah, I don't know what it is.
I just want us to be prepared that